Good morning. It's Friday morning. Yes, it is. And I am inside, not in the garage. Because, well, it's almost 40 now. It was snowing earlier. So I'm not going to do this part in the garage. This is a part I can do inside. So, first off, yeah. If y'all know, I haven't made it any secret. I ordered this from OpenBuilds. It looks like a pretty nice setup. It's a nice big CNC machine. There was a problem with shipping. Not their fault, but they rapidly took care of it, and all the parts seem to be here now, as far as I can tell. The big extrusions finally showed up yesterday, blah, blah, blah. Everything is good. I gotta say, OpenBuilds is number one for customer service. They had literally no hesitation in taking care of the issue. And it's not their fault. I mean, it was shipped and, it just sat there. It's the shipping company's fault. But, I'm fine. Yeah. So it's, but they took care of it. They also sent a label, which I did not see the label, but I haven't opened the box yet. I haven't opened the big box yet. They sent a label, so if it does show up, I can just slap the label on and ship it back to them, and that's good. What's up, Viking? Yeah. So everything's here, and I'm feeling much better. Yesterday, I was miserable and had a headache because the day before yesterday, I got my second COVID shot, and I was not feeling so hot yesterday. It wasn't terrible. I just felt kind of drawn out and tired, and the only thing that really bothered me is I had a major headache. Otherwise, it wouldn't have bothered me. That and the weather's just been crappy the last 2 days, which makes it, I think, even worse because it was like cold and windy and rainy. It's still cold and windy and rainy today, although it's almost like the sun's coming out. And then I got to turn the little camera on. Actually, I don't want that on yet. I'm going to record this with the regular camera too. Save this. And when this is all said and done and I've got the thing built, I'm going to edit up a video of the assembly, shortened up all of this kind of crap that I've just been doing for the last 3 minutes. Edit it out. It'll just be an assembly video. But for now, we are going to live stream it. And the first thing we're going to do is take this box, which y'all can't see, and I got a bunch of these little containers, which I love these things. I put my screws in them. They're super cheap. They crack and break rather easily. I end up replacing them all the time, but they're only $1 and a half. They're $1.50 for 2 bigger ones and 2 smaller ones, or 4 smaller ones. You get 4 smaller ones for the same $1.50. They're, dollar store cheapos. And I put all the screws and crap in there, and I was going to 3D print some, and then I thought about it. It's like, why am I going to spend hours and hours 3D printing them? And the thing I don't like about the 3D printing is you can't see. These are like clear. They're not perfectly clear, but you can see what's in there. Anyway, so I got a bunch of those. They were cheap. I think I spent $10 on them, if that. I don't even think I spent $10 on them. And I already used a bunch of them for the screws in the garage. What's up, Mike? Yeah, Twitch does suck, but everyone's going to Twitch for the live stream, so. And you can affiliate faster. I was thinking about just doing Twitch, but Twitch does suck. YouTube's beginning to suck, too. The other thing I have been doing, I literally watched. OpenBuilds has a very, very good video on assembly of this machine. Now, this is the 1515 CNC. It's 1500 millimeters. It's freaking huge. That's the external dimensions, not internal. Not build volume. It's the external machine. I think the build volume is like 48 by 52 or something like that. It's a little bit bigger than a sheet of plywood. Oh, shut up, camera. I'm not going to start recording yet. Maybe I'll just shut that off while I'm just babbling. Yeah. So this is the OpenBuilds 1515. So yeah, where was I? So my brain's still a little fogged from that whole COVID-y kind of. And again, I don't know if it was the shot or the weather or both. I think it was a little of both. It made me all kind of goofy yesterday. But anyway, so I will start recording with this now. If it's all lined up on the table. And I'll probably move this camera down to the table. And I'm just going to sort. So that's recording. And I'll use that and this because I'll download this from StreamYards and use them both to make the final video. So anyway, the plates and stuff I'm not too worried about right now. Oh, the other thing I did do, all there is the video. That's what I was talking about earlier. There's a really, really, really well done video for the assembly of this by OpenBuilds. If you go on here on YouTube and you search, OpenBuilds 1515, there's two videos. There's one about the mechanical structure, and then there's wiring it all up, two separate videos. They're about, I think the mechanical is 2.5 hours and the electrical is about an hour and a half, a little more. It's super detailed. If you've never built anything like this, you definitely want to watch this anyways. I've watched it like 4 times now. The only thing I don't like so far, there is no printed manual. I have literally started writing my own printed manual as I was watching it. And I'm not really using it as a manual so much as a reference. I hate watching YouTube videos and trying to get information off them directly because you keep going, oh, what size screw was that? And you got to rewind it and it jumps around and it's so hard to get, yeah, you can do the 15-second back jump, but even that sometimes is too much. And then you're sitting there for 15 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're trying to get something done, it feels like freaking forever. Now, obviously, I've worked with all this crap before. So I can do a shorter kind of version of the build. They literally, each and every gantry, he goes over exactly what you need to do, each and every one. Now, I look at it and go, they're all the same. You're building 4 of them. One of them doesn't have the push block in it, the little block in there for the lead screw. Other than that, they're all the same. I shouldn't say that. 2 of them are kind of reversed the way the screws are, but they're all the same. You can move the freaking block from one side to the other. They're just big plates with a bunch of wheels and spacers. Instead of build A, take it. He literally builds A. Here's the parts. It's amazing. They did a really nice job. What's up, Shane? They have the plates out. They have all the screws lined up all nice and neat. They have all the wheel parts. They have, everything is just like individual, and he goes through every single thing you need, 4 of these, 2 of these, and it's just like perfectly laid out, and you can't screw up if you follow this thing. But oh my God, he literally does X Gantry left, all the parts, here they all are, blah, 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 put it together, and then he does X Gantry right. Same exact thing. There's literally no difference in it. And yet he does this whole thing over again. Oh my God. I noticed like the first 45 minutes was just the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Again, if you've never done any of this kind of stuff before, you probably should watch it while you build it. For me, I need a shortcut. I don't have that kind of patience. But I am going to sort all this crap out. Now, the other thing that I love about these guys is everything comes in their own little individual bags, all labeled, what they are, how many you need, all the parts, the tools you need. It comes with all the tools. I left there. They give you ball screws like these. Now it's their own, but it's almost exactly the same thing. Really well set up kit, I must say. Really good company. So yeah, these are a bunch of end plates. So let's start sorting through it and putting stuff in containers so I'm not constantly digging. Because like these end plates, these are just end cap plates for the 2020 extrusions and 2080 extrusions and all that. And to be honest, they have you go through and put them on at certain locations. But I will probably just wait until the very end. These are the actual push box. End caps, screws, angle brackets, one big bag. All the plates I'm not really worried about yet. And there is a buttload of parts here. And when I say a buttload, I mean a buttload. All the screws are marked, bagged, numbered, the whole 9 yards. And I should push this down here so you guys can actually see this mess I'm dealing with. I'm going to put all the push blocks in here. Actually, I'll just put them in with the plates, even though they're not really the same. And these angle brackets, because you don't use those until later. And these are all the spacers and washers and bolts and nuts. And these are, I don't even know what these are. Oh, that's like electronics. That's the actual mount for the CNC. What I really wanted, before I even got going, was the wheel assemblies. I'm just going to build the wheels first. Whatever I did with them. But they're in here. Here they are. Matter of fact, let's just do that. I'm going to take all this stuff, and these are all washers and spacers. And again, they're all marked, you know, what size they are and everything. 35 millimeter, two of them, you know, 35 millimeter. Your eccentric nuts, your spacers, your T-nuts, more spacers, some washers, more individual T-nuts. I wonder why. 2 little washers. I don't know what those are for, but we'll find out soon enough. I think I'll put all the screws in a different container. Come on. These things are cheap. These containers are wicked cheap. And I will sort these out even more when I get going, but for now. Actually, maybe I won't. These are all washers and pulleys. And for now, the very first thing you need to do is build a buttload of wheels. What are these? Oh, these are the black lock nuts, which I think I'll put in with the, I don't know, with the washers, I guess. I don't really want them in with the screws, even though that's probably the more sane place, because they'll get lost in there. Keep it all kind of sorted. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense yet, but the first thing I want to do is build wheels, which should be what all of this is right here. I'm hoping. A buttload of bearings. More more bearings. I don't know why these bearings are in a separate thing. What I don't see in these are the individual little mini washers. I think this is cool. They come with all the really nice tool. Hi, Ann. How was life at your end of the world? This thing is not, I mean, it just looks like a piece of sheet metal, and it kind of is, but this thing is really solid. I mean, this thing's got some oomph to it. It's not, this ain't no cheap little freaking, aluminum stamped steel piece of junk. And it says OpenBuilds on it. I got to give them some advertising because they really did take care of me when all the crap got lost. So I do need, which I don't see in here, some, and I am going to take one of these containers, pour the wheels in there so I don't lose anything. And some bearings. I don't know why those are different. I'm assuming it's just because they need a few more than, but why is this one not full? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Those are different bearings. They're the same size. I think these are bigger. What the hell are they for? I didn't see anything. Oh, these are lipped bearings. Why do we have lipped bearings? Huh. I don't remember seeing anything about lip bearings for like pulleys or anything. Oh well. For now, you basically take one of these and you stick it in here and you just press it in there. And I actually have a clamp, but I do need the spacers. And they have precision. They call them precision shims, which are very precise, I guess, which is why they would call them precision shims. Which I'm assuming is what these are. There. I'm going to put these and these in here because I don't really know what they're for yet. And I don't remember seeing anything about them in the videos, but it is me, and I could have spaced right by it. So we got to build like, I don't know, 30 or 40 of these freaking things. So you put this shim in here, and then the other bearing. These are nice bearings. And you just squeeze it together. Now I do have this little C-clamp here, which I have discovered is a good thing for this to make sure they're seated. And I don't crank on it. I just make sure they're seated. Something a little extra I do because, it's me. Put a shim in there. Put a bearing in there. And squeeze it up. And we just keep doing tons of these. And I don't think I'm going to do them all right now. I think I'm going to do a dozen or so. Instead of building a gantry. Because I really want to start building gantries. And again, I'm not cranking on this. I'm giving it one good squeeze and then making sure the lips are past the wheels and the bearings are seated. We're at 3. We only need about 1 million more. And the bearing. So what are you guys up to today? It is Friday. Anybody doing anything exciting? And how is it possible that non-fam is not a moderator? Non-fam is now a moderator. He's been spannered. They get 2 washers in there or something. That's what it feels like. That's why I squeeze it. Oh, that thing's rolling around in there. It's not a seat in the square. There it goes. For some reason it just wasn't seat and square. Which is again why I use that clamp, because sometimes when you just press it in, they don't go in all the way. So yeah, OpenBuilds. I'm gonna give them a little advertisement again because they were so awesome about this whole thing and taking care of me when it wasn't shit. But they have like forums and all kinds of information on their website. It is a little weird. They have the actual store, which if you go to their website, there's a little red box that says go to the store. But once you go to the store, it's really hard to exciting, not exiting. Oh, nothing. I got you. Once you go to the store, you can't go back to their website by a simple click. It's a little weird, but it's not a big deal. It's not sitting square either. Geez, those better be the right frickin' washers. That's looking too thick. There it goes. It's just me. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just me. I'm going to make sure, because they are kind of slimy from the oil on my fingers. So I want to make sure they're going in there square. Always seems like the second one doesn't want to seat all the way. Why is it not going in? I'm actually having to crank it to get the second one to go in, and it's not going in all the way. It is really weird. I've never had that problem with these wheels before. Well, I've never used these white ones. I always use their standard black ones. Well, it seems like it's all the way in there now. That's one thing I don't want to do. That is not in there straight. I am cranking this one. Rolls fine. Just one side sticking out a little more than the other. I don't really like. They're all kind of doing that. Oh well. Moving on. Yeah, I don't really need a desktop press. It's just weird that one side's going all the way in and the other side's not. Unless these are not the right shims, but I'm positive they are. They better be, because otherwise I'm gonna have to order some more wheels. I better double check. These are all fatter, regular washers, fatter. How thick are they? I actually have some of these shims on my other wheels laying around because I bought extras. 0.95. 1. These are the right ones. 1. They're all supposed to be 1 millimeter exactly. Those are the right ones. I know they are. Just keep moving on. I think what I'll do is just load one side and then move to the other. I'm pretty sure it's like 70 or something. Wheels, 37 total. A lot of wheels. They call these precision shims because they're supposed to be exactly 1 millimeter. I guess. I'm guessing here. They just call them precision shims. There's a washer in there, yep. I think this works better than the press. Just using my thumb. Than the clamp. I mean, seems to be going in straighter. Thumb is definitely better. I don't know why, but it is. One, two. One, two. It's going right in when I press it on my thumb. I don't know why it would be any worse with the clamp. Never had that problem before. Wheels. Use it to crack walnuts. Yep. Just building wheels. Pressing them together. Lots and lots of wheels. Okay. My fingers are actually getting oily. From the bearings have a very thin, like, grease on them, obviously to preserve them or whatever, so they don't rust or whatever. But it's not bad. It's just enough that after you do it a dozen times or so, it's coating my fing dangles. Normally, I was planning on just building these as I would need them for the gantry, but, you know, I might as well just do them. And I was going to do, this gantry needs 6, so I was going to do 6, and this one needs 8, so I was going to do, 8 or whatever. But let's just build them all. get it done until my thumb wears out, which isn't going to be much longer because it's starting to get sore. And a washer and a bearing and another pack of bearings. And get rid of all these stupid tubes. Garbage pile on the floor. You saw all the crap I got on the floor right here. They've just been tossing it. It's funny. Let's see. Bearing. 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 Washer. Shim. Precision shim, they call them. There's something precise about them. Gotta make sure I'm not sticking two of them together. By accident. Because once they go together, they're near impossible to take apart. Been there, tried that. Ain't worth the headache. What happened? So it's Friday. Anybody having fun and excitement? It is miserably cold out and windy, and we literally had snow this morning. I don't think it is now, but in the middle of April, snow. Whoa, there's no washer in there. That would have been a tragedy. Washer, yep. Make sure I check for the washers. Washer. Washer. That one's got a washer. This one's got a washer. This one's got a washer. And this one's got a washer. So what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. I'm assuming there's 10 bearings in here. Just guessing. And there is. Shimmy washer thingy, shimmy washer thingy. Shimmy washer thingy, shimmy washer thingy. Make sure there's only one in there. Shimmy washer thingy. Bearing, 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 and one last bearing. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 38. I actually got 38. I could swear they said 37. But that's all right. Yeah, I have written here 37. It could be 38. Just because I wrote 37 doesn't mean I'm not old and stupid like I am. Like we all know I am. And misheard it. Which is why I want things written down, because sometimes you mishear things on videos where if you have a written version, you can reference it easier. I need another tall top. Where's my other tall top? One of these a double top. That one's not. The one thing about these cheapos is sometimes these tops get stuck together, and you'll put two on and not even realize it. And they don't lock all that well, but yeah, they're good enough.
Good enough for temporary use.
Alrighty. Wheels are assembled. Coffee break. That wasn't so bad. There's a whole 5 people watching. How many are on Twitch? None. That's funny. So, let's shut that off for a second and take a break. What is up, Mr. Never Let the Machines Win, dude? Mikey. Took me a second. I couldn't remember your real name. My brother added a video of snow falling. I don't care about your damn snow falling. Stop showing me snow falling. Only been out of the entertainment storage industry for 4 years now. Today I saw a full redundant one bear light installing. Time flies. Whatever. Okay, not a clue what he's talking about. All right, so next. The next thing is assembling the Y and X gantries. There is 3 of them that have a nut block and 1 does not. They want you to assemble the nut block first. And look at these extra large gantry plates. And there's a buttload of them, as you can see. And they're all pretty much the same. But this one has some small ones too. So let's take some out. I have the video loaded right here on my iPad too, their video. And here are the gantry plates, and you get 3 of them, I guess, in one pack. I don't know why 3, but they are big, massive, black anodized aluminum plates. And they say OpenBuilds on the bottom. I think you can see it. And they actually have a version number too. Not that that thing's going to focus on it. Is it going to focus on it? Probably not. But there's a version number down there, so if they change anything, you'll know. And again, I'll do it for this camera. It says OpenBuilds version number. They are knocked out. They have a little knockout here in the center. I don't know if the camera will pick that out. There you go. And the screw holes are all recessed, and I didn't record that. Let's do that again for the big camera, for the regular camera. OpenBuilds plates has the name here, version number here. I'm redoing it so this camera catches it. Has the center routered out and recessed holes. There's 3 holes on the bottom that are slightly larger for accepting of eccentric nuts. So, yeah. And then these 2 here are slotted. See how it's kind of elongated? For the push blocks. And they want you to put the 2 push blocks on first. So, M5 20 millimeter bolts through head on printed side to 4 slots on left and right edge. All right. So I need some M5 20 millimeter, which pretty much everything in here is M5. Not everything, but pretty much everything. And then we need a couple of these push blocks. And the push blocks do come with their own lock nuts in the bag with them. And then I will also need, let's see, flip over. Stacking order is 3mm spacer, a shim, nut block. Make sure the nut block is facing okay. So I need a 3mm. What do I do with the shims? Right. So I'm going to need those again. And I'm going to need the 3mm. These are 6mm. Why am I not seeing any 3mm? There they are, 3mm. And the assembly order is a 20mm screw, or 2, or 4. And you slide them through. The head goes into the slotted part of the aluminum. Slotted part of the aluminum. And you put 4 of them on there. Over. And then you put a 3mm spacer. Whoa, roll away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seal those back up so they don't roll away. A precision shim, 3mm spacer, nut block, 3mm shim. I don't know why they don't just do a 4mm spacer. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I mean, why isn't it just a 4mm spacer instead of a 3mm and a 1mm? Oh well. And then the nut block. Now there is 2 different nut blocks. Most of them are a standard nut block. These are actually the same exact thing I have right here. That's what I'm using on this for my bed. It's the same nut block. It's basically just like the 3D printer lead screw nuts. It's just a square block. When you put it on here, you want to make sure the little hex holes are up. So the lock nuts inset. How do I know this thing's going to all fall apart on me? And my 3mm. Press this one on here. Tighten this. Now you leave these a little loose at first because they get adjusted later. And I just put that in backwards, you dumbass. And it does matter. If you don't know what a lock nut is, and I shouldn't do it their way. Here's a lock nut, and it's got a regular nut, and then it's got a little nylon-y loop on top, which I'm sure you guys have all seen this, but I'm doing it for the video. You want to make sure the rounded part is out. And then you just screw them in, make sure it catches, but you don't want to tighten it yet because you need to line it up with the lead screw. With the lead screw. So you leave it a little loose, but you do want it to catch the nylon lock, which you'll know immediately because it'll start getting harder to turn. And that's it for that. Baggies. 20 millimeters. And you do that 3 times. You need 3 of those. There's 2 Y and 1 X. It sounded like there was something still in that bag. So I'm going to do this one side at a time. Let's see. You slide it through here. Make sure it's a slot. It's not the. It's not this end. It's the slots. 1 on each. They're pretty obvious. 3 millimeter, 1 millimeter, or precision. Another nut block. I'm going to need 2 more nut blocks. What did I do with all the nut blocks? Okay, nut blocks. Those are screws. These are the nut blocks. 1, 2 nut blocks. Might as well take 2 more out right now. There's also the what do you call them? Anti-backlash ones. There's just one of those, I believe. Yeah. For the Z. Because with these, you have 2 of them on either side of the unit, and you can actually slide them to do the same thing. So you don't need anti-backlash units. If that makes sense. All right. Do I have, yep, it's all stacked. Up. Make sure the hexy side is up so the nut slides right in there. And tighten it up. Let's do the other one. So I need 2 more screws, 20 millimeter. Two more 20 millimeter. A 3 millimeter. Another 3 millimeter. 2 little shims. And then the nut block. With the hex head up. We do not know. I saw it fall out. Don't lose them. I need those. Luckily, I have more of those. Because you know I'll probably lose a couple. Okay, I know it came out. I saw it. There it is. Don't eat the paper. And there's the second one. One more to do. What's up, Vince? All right, the tape just resealed the bag. That wasn't too bright of it. Tell you what, if I was a drug dealer, I shouldn't say that. It just doesn't go over big. We'll be editing that out of the edited one. 2 bolts, 2 3mm. I hope there's more 3mm. I don't think I got enough. I know I need more of them later. Well, maybe not. I think they use 6mm later. And then 2 of these. There's only 1. And then the nut block. Lots of little baggies. My God, they must have like stock in little baggies. It is very nice that they do that, though. Just a little stupid trick, if you're ever doing this, when you go to flip it back over, I'll put these in here now. If you just push up on it, the screws will stay in place and won't drop out. Except for I just put that in backwards. So it is going to drop out. Push up and then turn. A little bit of cutting oil. What am I going to use cutting oil for? And do it again. One more time. One there. One there. 6 or 3mm, excuse me. I'm picking, I don't have enough 3mm. There's probably another bag of them. I'm pretty sure there's more 3mm needed. A lot more. 3mm, 1mm, or precision shim, they call it. Again, I don't know why it's not just a 4mm washer, shim, spacer. But that is what it is. Block with hex up. Put the nut in there. Put the nut in there. Make sure the locking section is out. And tighten it up. And that just fell out before I could tighten it up. I should be using my fancy ratcheting unit instead of the regular driver, but this is minor. Make sure it's somewhat loose. That's actually tight. Why is that tight already? There we go. They can move around, so when I put the lead screw in, they can line up. 3mm. I got 2 3mm spacers left. A whole buttload of shims, which I know there's even more of those. A buttload of 20mm left over. And that is that. More baggies for the floor. So I got 3 of these built. So the next thing is a wheel section. And I'm actually going to go back to the video.
Next step, we're going to be assembling our following Y gantry plate. So we're going to have Y1, Y2 bolts on the bottom of the plate. If you have the plate held like I have it here.
Yeah.
These are longer for the eccentric spacers. So what
you
can to adjust
eccentric spacers,
the wheel has on the rail. Configuration, which is going to
what size screw are those?
So that's very important to understand. We're simply going to be running our 65-pound hex nuts, 8, called the dual sandwich configuration. This makes it easier.
I hate this. You can't accurately. Now I got to sit and listen to them babble to make sure I'm doing it right. I did write it down, but I want to make sure it's right.
So I'm going to leave those loose like so. Just keep that in mind. We will be coming back and we'll tighten these down. And that'll be part of another step. But for this step, we are finished. So let's go ahead and move forward.
Let's move forward.
Step, we're going to be assembling our wheels and basically creating what we like to call the dual.
Yep. And of course, I can't freaking get to the list went by. This is why I hate just video. And you can't fast forward and rewind on YouTube
That's basically our
accurately.
nut blocks, which the lead screw will thread through and basically create.
Pause. So, one gantry plate with the block, one regular gantry plate, 8 wheels. Oh, right, because there's 4 on each side. 65 millimeter. That's what I thought they were. That's what I was looking for. So, screws. This is why I wanted this, and I did it, but I want to make sure I'm doing it right. I had written it down right. These are going to be very, very long. Very, very long. Very, very long. Are these 65? No, those are 50s. There's got to be some even longer ones. Look at the freaking length of them babies. Them are long. Those are the right ones, right? 65. Yes, they are. So I need the 65 millimeters. More 3 millimeter spacers. Some 6 millimeter spacers. Some black nylon nuts. The precision shims. I don't need the 20s anymore. So I can get rid of those. I don't need the blocks anymore. We'll need some 6 millimeter spacers. Spacers! And are these 9s? Yep. And some 3 millimeter, which I don't have enough 3 millimeter. There's only 2 left. And I think I need those here. Yeah, it says I need 4 3 millimeter. So I'm going to need 16 more, 12 more. Which I don't have. There's only 2 left. I don't see any more. Oh, come on. $35s. And you do little black nylon nuts. Hopefully there's another bag I haven't opened yet. Because this could be a major freaking drawback right now. I hope there's another baggie of shims and spacers and no. Those are just wire containers. Plates. Well, that could be a bummer. The push blocks, bearings, and that is it. Some kind of electronic stuff. Well, that ain't right. That's, oh, come on. I don't want them to have to ship any more crap. Especially after they had to deal with this. Let's make sure I didn't screw up in the beginning and use 3 millimeter when I wanted 6 millimeter or something. I don't need all this intro. I hate fucking videos. Pardon my French. Oh, now I gotta go through a freaking ad. They really need a written manual with reference of parts, which is why I'm writing one. That is a #1 annoyance. Skip ads. Go away. And now I gotta find the spot where they list it for 10 seconds. This is my point of the video, why they don't have a written, at least a list. Yep, So they're all 3mm spacers.
That's basically our action to the front.
Now I gotta wait again.
Flipping the wheel around, it's very important that you put your precision shim in the middle of the bearings.
Yep,
So don't forget
precision
that
shim.
step. And you're going to encase it with your additional bearing.
Yeah, look through all this again because there's got to be another box of bag of 3mm shims.
And we'll move on to the next step. On this next step, we're going to be assembling our transmission components, which is our nut blocks here. That's basically our Acme threaded nut blocks, which the lead screw will thread through. These will be assembled to our extra large gantry plate.
See, this is what I hate about the video. I want a list.
2 nut blocks, 4 nylon hex nuts, which you'll find in the bag with the nut blocks, 4 3mm aluminum spacers, 4 precision shims, and 4 M5 20mm screws.
Oh! And I gotta deal with frickin' video crap.
Connectors to each T-nut, that way you can slide this freely and align it to the threaded holes on the extra large gantry plate. So I want to be able to feed my lead screw through without any complications and to seat it correctly. So we will tighten it in on the side of the to focus on the hole orientation. It's going to be exactly the same with the right side. So you should have matching columns.
I hate just having a video. I need a reference so I can say, okay, I was right. I need a written list. 3mm spacers. Everything's 3mm spacers, and all I got is 2 left. There ain't anywhere near enough 3mm spacers. More 6s. T-nuts, some other T-nuts, some washers, different kinds of bearings, spin-in T-nuts, and I don't think I have any 3mm. I have just about everything else but the 3mm. Double check, I haven't put them in anywhere. Any of these things, make sure there's none missing. Screws, 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 screws. Oh, come on. So I guess we're done. Fuck. Dump this out just to double check. Bearings, bearings, spin-ins, big long one, some kind of weird thin big shim, bearings, compression bearings, centric nuts, washers, 6mm, some kind of small, these look like 4mm spin-ins. I wonder if these are for the wires. They're in a buttload of spin-ins. Not here. Check all my little baggies. I don't see any more. Well, that bites the big wazoo. I am not seeing any more shims of any kind. All right, well, I guess this is over with. No, those you cannot print. I would not print those. They need to be metal. And I don't think I have any 3mm. I have just about everything else. I hate harassing them because they were so really good about shipping out the extrusions. If I had them, I'd just use them and not even harass them about them. I don't think I have any. I have just about everything else. I have more precision ones from them. I got more wheels, even though they're black ones. I have eccentric nuts up the yin yang. I have some 6mm. I think that's what these are, but no 3s. Yep, those are 6s. And that's not something I can just go get. So now I gotta wait again for something to be shipped. Damn it. Never fails. Excuse me. Well, I'm gonna need a buttload of these. What's up, Dan? I will go out in the garage and make sure I don't have another pack. But I put everything in that box, so I know I don't. I didn't put them in here, did I? Nope. I have double and quadruple checked everything now. Where do we need 3mm spacers for this? That don't make no sense to me.
And in addition to that, for the step, we'll need our additional extras and to seat it correctly. So we will tighten these down once we get our leads.
Yeah. God, I hate this just video. Give me a list. I mean, I wrote it, but I don't know if I did it right because I was just doing it quick while I was watching this. Pause. So it's saying I'm going to need 4 3mm spacers. What's my stacking order? 6mm spacers to an eccentric. Precision shim wheel. 9mm spacer wheel. Precision shim 6mm spacer. I don't see any 3mm. Why are they listing 3mm? I don't have any 3mm that go on this. They're listing 3mm that isn't supposed to be there.
Gantry plate with our nut block components added to the plate. And in addition to that, for the step, we'll need our additional extra large gantry plate, 8 of our extreme V wheels,
8 extreme V wheels,
9mm aluminum spacers, 4 6mm eccentric spacers, 4 6mm aluminum spacers, 8 precision shims, 4 slot washers, 4 black nylon hex nuts, and 4 M5 65mm screws.
So there's no 3mm spacers needed here. They have them listed on their list, but they aren't actually needed. That makes sense. I don't know why they listed them. Not lose the 2 I got. I knew there was something up with that. They list them on their little list there. You guys can't see it, but so 6mm. Eccentrics. I think I got the 9s out already, right? 6. These are the 9s. Eccentrics, nuts. Don't need the stop blocks. The little baggie ripped open. Precision shims, 65s. That's what I thought. I don't. Something didn't seem right. What is up, Jerry? And some wheels. So basically, I did watch it correctly. We don't need any more 3mm. So yeah, 8 3mm is all I have listed, which I've used for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Drive block, gantry block. The 2 Ys start with the X plate with a nut block on it. So 4 of these. I'll do 2 at a time, just to make life easy. Actually, maybe I won't do all 4. All right. So stacking order of these is 6mm aluminum spacer. These 2. I'll show you on this one. This hole here is bigger than this hole down here because it accepts the eccentric nut. The head goes in the recess where it's printed. So the printed side will be out when it's all finished. And then eccentric nuts here. See how the hole's slightly bigger here than it is down here? So the big ones, the big holes, get the eccentric nuts. And you want that little washer feeding down into it. It needs to set down into the hole. Then stacking order, 6mm spacers, 2 eccentric, precision shim. So you put a shim on there, you put a shim on there. I might as well do the 6mm over here. A regular 6mm shim, a regular 6mm shim. It also gets a precision washer. This also gets a precision washer that I dropped on the floor. Then they all 4 get a wheel. Then I believe it's the 9mm. Correct. Stacking order. Shim 9mm. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then does it get another? Does it actually get another precision shim wheel, 9mm spacer wheel? So it gets another wheel. You gotta line up this washer that's in the wheel. Sometimes what is up? On. Why won't that? Why not? There we go. I was just doing it wrong. And then a washer, precision shim, precision shim, precision shim, precision shim. And then these 2 get the eccentric nuts with the actual slippy part up. And these 2 get a 6mm, 6. Regular one, not eccentric. Because those are the stationaries. And then we take a regular plate, which, what did did I do with all the plates? Oh, come on out. I'm going to have to tear this thing because they really pushed them in there. Okay, this one had 4 in it. The other one only had 3 in it. Figure that one out. This goes this way because the eccentric nuts have to go over it. I did put the precision shims in there, right? Precision shim, yep. Get the eccentrics to drop into the holes. Then I believe you need a big ass washer. And they call it something. Slot washers. They're just big regular washers. What it looks like. Don't want to lose these because I know I'm gonna. Come here, you. Move Tupperware. Oh yeah, you can't see because the wheels are in the way, huh? Sorry about that. And then I want these regular washers. I'm guessing that's what these are. They're not really marked, but they're just regular washers. They go on here, and here, and here, and here. And then we use these black nylon nut washers. These are bizarre. They're just a regular. They're just black painted. I don't know why they got black painted ones, but they're kind of cool. I wish they black painted these washers and the spacers. That would have been cool. That would have been cool. That would have been cool. And then my driver. Flip these over. Take their little cool wrench. And suck it all down. Make sure the eccentrics are seated, which is why I'm doing them first. Because this one's not. But it is now. Kind of a long screw. I think I made that about 4 millimeters shorter. Now you got to tighten those all the way up. But for now, I'm just snugging them. And there's a reason for it. Move Tupperware. I did. Wheels are rolling. Okay. One thing you do want to do is take their little wrench, and they have a mark on the eccentrics that you want to make sure I loosen this so I'm not dragging. they want you to bring the mark all the way out, wherever it is. There it is. It says, I don't know if you can see it on there. Is that going to focus on that? But if you look, there's a little, it actually says 6 millimeter. Right there. It says 6 millimeter. And if you bring that out, it's in the full open position. So you want all 4 of them to be out. So when you go to slide it on there, they are loose. So it basically isn't tightened to the extrusion when I go slide the extrusion on there. And snug it down good. Good, baby. And what I am going to use my ratchety thing. Because it just works so much easier. And make sure they're all tight. And that is snug, like a bug. And all the wheels are rolling just beautifully. So there's one down. For some reason that seems backwards because these are out. I know 2 of them they go away because of the way the push block is. Yeah, no, that's right. Because these are inside the machine, and then the X and Z, the X gantry that holds the Z, are facing the back. If I remember correctly. So one's down. Let me just double check that with their little crazy video.
My 3 millimeter ball driver and my spanner wrench, and that's all you'll need for this assembly. So just like we did bottom side of the plate.
Yep, they're showing it. The bolt goes through on
additional extra large gantry plate, and then onto each screw, each slot rail at 330 millimeters.
So let's build another one. So we got the 2Y. That is the Y, correct? Yep. And there's 2 of them. That are exactly the same. One for the left and one for the right. No, the second camera isn't showing up. I'm recording it for, I'm going to do like an edited video. It's not broadcasting live. It's for the editing later. Because I don't have the equipment or the cameras to do it. But there will be an edited, shortened, not yucky version of this when it's all said and done. Where am I? Centered nuts. I'm going to need 4 of those. Come on, one more. Let's get that up. 2 of them go on now. 2 6 millimeter, those are 9s, these are 6s. Don't roll away, don't roll away. Two, 4 shims now. Let's put the eccentrics down here so I know what I'm doing. 4 little shimmy shims. Shim shimmy, shim shimmy, shim shim shiroo. Then we need 4 wheels. What do I do with the wheels? Right here. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 wheels. Come on, you. Come on. What the hell? The little inner washer doesn't want to line up. Well, we can fix that by using a bigger one. That way. Then, if I remember correctly, let's double check because I want to be really accurate here. Stacking order is precision shim wheel 9mm. So I need 4 9s. That's a 6. That's a 6. These are the 9s. Aim problem. What aim problem? What are you talking about? I'm not using American Online. And then more wheels. Okay, why isn't that centering up? It's like pop right back as soon as I take the bit out. Stay. Stay, little washer dude. Stay. And then 4 precision shims. What do I do with the shims? Put the rest of these away so I don't lose them. And then these are the 2 eccentrics right here, right? Yep. With the eccentrics with the little head up and regular ones up here. And then we take another plate. They got to spend a freaking fortune on Ziploc baggies, man. Let's see. And again, you got to line up the eccentric nuts to the bigger holes. Make sure they go in there. Take 4 regular everyday washers. These big, I would call these fender washers. They call them something else. They're kind of like fender washers. They're just really big washers that I keep dropping on the floor. You know, I think I had some black ones. I can almost put black ones on there just to make it look cool, but not going to bother. And then for these black nuts, I really wanted to order the black frame. This frame comes in black. I got all the silver extrusion, aluminum extrusion. But it comes in black too, but it's like, I don't know, it ends up being like $50 more or something. And I'm just like, it's just not worth $50. There's more important things I can spend $50 on than having the frame blacked. What am I building there, Head Fog? I am building a really big CNC machine. Shouldn't say really big. It's really big for a hobby unit. Make sure the eccentrics are seated. Use the proper bit. Use like a socket here. Come on, because the screw's longer than the thing is deep. Team Orange version. Yeah. That eccentric sitting. There we go. These things are awesome. I got 2 of them. If you don't have one of these, if you get the Alien box, I think he sent some of these in it, didn't he? I've had these things for years. I used to use them all the time on my mountain bikes. They are awesome because they got like a socket on one side and they can take a regular bit on the other. I just happen to have the 3mm Allen wrench socket, so that's what I use. The only thing I don't like about them is when you use it like with a regular bit in here. When you go to do it, sometimes my palm hits this. So I actually prefer to put the socket on because your palm on here doesn't really bother you. I mean, it's not like painful or anything. It's just annoying. What's up, Gary? Snug them all up now. The only thing I don't want to quite snug up yet are the eccentrics, because again, I want to spin the eccentrics. So the 6mm tag, whatever the hell it is. Okay, haven't I rotated this thing completely yet? Yes, I haven't, because there it is. You want the 6mm tag to be straight up and down, because that means it's on its loosest setting. And like I said before, there's a little printed 6mm on the eccentric nut, which is wicked awesome, unlike some cheapo Chinese ones. That some of them do have like a dot, but you don't know if that's the all open or all closed. I believe when the dot is exposed, it's all open, but I don't know. I can never keep it straight. But this, it's very obvious, which I like. So, tighten those up pretty good now. Make sure they collapse down. Make sure the bearing's seated. This is also something I know, again, with these wheels. After I run it for like a week, I will want to tighten all of these. Because I guarantee you the bearing is pressed into these wheels. Hey, look at that. Wheels will settle, you know what I mean? So I'll probably want to give them all a little snug after I run it a couple days. Which you can easily do. And there's a second one. 2. Now the other ones, I believe, I'm going to put them in the box here. Ow! I just bumped my desk. Yes, my desk is on wheels. I think we need a coffee break. What do you guys think? My model hands, yeah. I model these. See all the scars and peels, and I'm always chewing my fingernails, or I just peel them and they're freaking bleeding and cracking. Yeah, I need TPU covers for that. Not. We're having a little coffee break here. I was all stressed out about those 6 millimeters that they say you need that you don't. And then I can move on to the X Gantry, those with a Y. Now, what they would have me do right now is build the Y, the whole tower and everything. I'm just going to keep building gantries. So I'm fast forwarding on their video. Nut block assembly for X Gantry. Play.
And 4 precision shims. Of course, for this assembly, I'll be using.
And I've already done.
Let's go ahead and move on to machine.
So now we build the X ones, and they're a little different. And I think it's just upside down. I don't know. Can you guys hear that? It's my iPad.
So we're going to have 2 of these sets that are going to be assembled, and they're going to create one large gantry system for the X carriage for rigidity and support.
Yeah,
We'll start here with the first one, which will have the nut blocks attached.
Nut blocks.
Be on the bottom of the configuration, which you'll see later on as.
So instead of starting with a nut block, I'm pretty sure I start with this just to put the screws on the opposite side. That's all it does.
We have 2 extra large gantry plates, one having the nut blocks that we just assembled, 4 65mm screws, 4 slot washers, 4 black nylon hex nuts, 8 extreme V wheels, 4 9mm aluminum spacers, 4 6mm centric spacers, 4 6mm aluminum spacers, and 8 precision shims. And of course, the tooling I'll be using is my 3mm ball driver.
This thing is actually really nice.
First, we want to make sure that our plates are oriented correctly. The nut blocks for the X carriage assembly are going to be towards the back. So basically, the excess of the screws that are running through the plates will be on this side with the nut blocks.
That's what I thought. All right. So it's the same thing. It's just instead of starting with the nut block, you want to put the screws up through the flat non-nut block side, so the excess screw is sticking out the back where the nut block is, where the other ones it was just the opposite. What gadget? These things, they're called palm ratchets. That's what they are called. And they're like, I think I just got this one because I couldn't find this. And literally the day I got this, I found this one. I couldn't find it. And it was right here in this drawer the whole time. And I couldn't find it. Anyway, I think they're like $8, $9 if you get them on Amazon. You can actually get them for like 5 or 6 on eBay. There's a couple of different brands, you know, like any of them. But I do think this one's a little better built. This is the Titan. This one's a Power Built. It may be this thing's ancient. I mean, I've had this for a very long time. Probably 20 years, 15 years I've had this one. They're awesome. I wouldn't. They're awesome. This should be a standard for building a 3D printer. They're way better than using a regular old, you know, Allen key, bent Allen key, or even these. I mean, these are nice. I like having these, but this is better for mass assembly like we're doing right now. My throat's getting sore. I wonder if it's that whole COVID-y thing again. Stay. And there should be 4 more after this. So this is a regular plate, not a nut block plate. You only do 3 of these nut block plates. Regular plate. Oh, what on there? Looks like they burned it drilling the hole. Don't matter, I'm not using that hole. So
we need to use our bare extra large gantry plate, and we're going to run our 65mm
65mm screws through it. See, this is why I want a written sheet, which I have right here, but I want to double check it with the video. Yep. Got my eccentrics down here.
To be facing away from our fixed wheels.
Yep. So it's the same thing. as I've been doing all along. It's just we're starting with a flat plate instead of the block plate, which I've already said like 4 times, right? Yep, that's how it always goes. It doesn't really bother me because I always wanted another one. I used to have 2. I gave one away to a friend because he did the same thing as you were just doing. Like, that thing's freaking cool. Can I have one? Where do I get one? I was like, I handed it to him. Figured I'd replace it someday. And I never did. So I'm glad I got another one because one sits in the house and the red one's going to go out in the garage. Actually, I'll probably take this one out in the garage and keep the nice, pretty new one in here. Whoa, no escapes. And we need 2 more of those. We need 2 more of these. The rest of these can go back in the baggie. Come on, baggie. Work with me here. Okay. I got 2 eccentrics, 2 regulars. We need 4 little precision shimmy shims. Shimmy, shimmy. Shim, shiroo. And then some wheels. Burning through these wheels. That's for sure. I forgot this thing's magnetic. That's why the shims, the spacer keeps returning. It's like I'm sticking it in there and then it comes back to the, off center because it's sticking to this thing. This thing's magnetic. But this one's not, I don't think. Come on. You just don't like to stay in the center where they belong. And if you weren't watching earlier, 600 subscribers giveaway palm ratchet. I don't know why it hid that. Hey, Gary. Why would it hide that? That's not a bad idea, actually. A lot of people got them already because, like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure a couple, 3 alien boxes ago. 9mm next. 6, 9 right here. Alien had them in that was one of his things he put in the alien boxes. Was that, and I think he did those and a little mini socket bit set that came with it too. 4 little wheelie wheels. Gotta get the little washer lined up. If you don't know what I'm doing with this, sometimes the little washer that's in there, I don't know if you can see it, but see how it's off center? It won't let it in because there's 2 bearings and the washer's in the middle. And you have to get that washer centered or it won't slide down over the nut, bolt, whatever. Like so. And then precision shimmy shims. Precision shimmy shims. And then regular 6mm spacers. And then eccentric 6mm spacers with the flange up. And then we put this one on there and make sure the big holes are lined up with the eccentric nuts. Make sure the eccentric nuts drop into it and line up. Let's put these all away because knowing me, I'll lose them or they'll fall out and roll away. Put 4 of these on here. And it drives me nuts that this one's upside down. It really matters not at all, but it just drives me nuts. $19. No, keep looking, dude. I've seen them where they're more expensive. If you keep searching, you know, there's always different brands and all of that. They're like $10. I mean, they might be a little more because you're in Canada, but I can't imagine them being twice as much. I'm pretty sure I paid like $8.99 for that one. Might have been a little more, but right in that $10 range. He's all catching. Yes, they're spinning. They're actually spinning the nut now. So they're all locked in. Let's put this baggie away so I don't lose anything. Ratchety ratchet. Do the eccentric side first. Make sure the eccentrics are in the hole. Eccentrics in the hole. Here we go. Hey now. Hey now. Dude, even at $20, honestly, I wouldn't hesitate spending $20 for one. If that's what they cost, they're worth $20. Easily. Without hesitation. Look on eBay too. I mean, there's a bunch of tool companies that sell that crap on eBay, at least here in the States. Again, you're in maple syrup land, so it might be a little different, but they are sold everywhere. Any tool store will have them that's big enough. Oh, I don't want to tighten it quite yet. I want to get the eccentric lined up with the little number, wherever it is, tag. Where'd it go? Did I just spin by it? Here it is. Guess not. And make sure the little 6mm tag is on the nut, facing out. It's weird how it tightens the screw as I'm doing this, even though it's not supposed to. The only thing I don't like about eccentrics. And there. Tighten those up good. Non-food, non-med stores are closed. Oh, yeah, because there's no hardware store. Got you. And there we go. We got another one done. There it is. It's weird that one side will roll. Oh, I know why, because it's the eccentrics. So the wheel's sticking out just a little beyond it, because it won't roll on the other side. That's how you know it's open. I guess. One more down. And then the next one is just a double plate, no lead screw nut on it. So let's build one more. One more. We got one more. If I can find the plates. We got one more plate there, but only one. And I think I need 3 more plates total, if I remember correctly. And I think that's what I got here. 2 more plates. These are smaller. Right. No, that makes sense. If I remember correctly. I've watched their assembly video like 4 times now, if not more. No, and again, for $20 for one of these, it's worth $20, dude. I wouldn't hesitate. If you don't have one, order one now. I'm going to try the new one just because it's all pretty and red and new. And then, again, they take a socket on one side and they take a regular bit, and I got a whole set of bits too. And I actually have a bigger set that I use with it all the time with just about every kind of bit you could ever imagine. Phillips heads, star, square. These ball ones suck. Do not get the ball ones of these. I've yet to find a company. These are good ball. I have yet to find any that are good ball end that snap in. They're all garbage. I mean, they work in a pinch, but they don't. They strip out easy and they jam in there. But these are really good. I'm surprised. Nikio, I think these brand is, and they've been fantastic. And I have a whole set of like socket adapters, so I can even go to a full size socket with them, which I use. Again, I used to use on the mountain bike because sometimes I just had that one socket. And if you want, if you go on, I think only Thingiverse, because this is old. This is TPU. TPU. And it's a little holder that holds all the bits. And I got it in like 4 different sizes on Thingiverse. All right, back to building. Hopefully this is the last one of these because there's only 4 more big long screws. And that baggie's done. And we put a 6mm on here. We only got 4 of these left. I really wish they'd give you like 1 or 2 extra. I mean, not that you need them, but I have a habit of losing this crap. And that's the eccentric side. 2 there. We need, oh, those are the wrong ones. Those are 9s. Good thing I caught myself. The little wheels wouldn't line up with the 2020 extrusion. So these 2 go on here. 2 of these. Well, we need 2. Go on here. And have to slide into the hole in the aluminum. And no, we put the little 1mm washer. What is up, Mr. Fun King? It's amazing to see you on one of my streams. You're usually like, I don't know, working now, having a real life. This is not illegal activity. This is a very large CNC machine that I'm building because my brother decided he wanted to do CNC and he knew I know how to do it or had a basic knowledge on how to assemble it, get it going, get it up and running. It is very similar. Yeah, Funking must be lost. What's up with that? Mr. Glenn, how is life? Hey, did Shane move in with you? Is that what happened? Did he take the apartment in the garage? I noticed he's been already just stopping and hanging out. I mean, that's freaking totally cool. I like Shane. Shane, whatever his name is. 9mm. That's these ones. A wheel for 4. Not Sheen. Yeah. Sean. However you pronounce it. I'm just not. I'm worse than you, Glenn. I can't pronounce crap. I know how to say it, and yet it never comes out right. I'm as busy as a one-legged man in a kicking contest. That's a new one. I never heard that one before. Precision washers. Where'd they go? They fell down over here. Hopefully none of them fell out. They didn't. It was closed. We need 4 of those. Then I need 2 eccentrics, which go here, and then 2 regular 6mm spacers, which go here and here, and then another plate. Right here, and I'm done dealing with these baggies. And the 2 eccentrics are here. Line them up so they drop in. Come on. Line up, baby. Everything lined up. And then that is old age. Yes, Art Mods. Formerly of IC3D. I like him. He's awesome. He's a good dude. So yeah, he's living in your garage now, huh? Cool. I was just waiting for Xander to drag his lazy buttocks out of bed so we can get some lunch. Wait a minute, it's Friday. He's not out of bed. He should be at school. Or schooling, at least, even in COVID times. Oh, this week they're off, huh? I forgot about that. This is the last day of off. Still, I can't. Even when I was a kid, I had a bunch of friends that were like that. Even when I was a drunkard, teenager, 20s, drinking all the time, I could not sleep until noon. It drove me nuts. Just couldn't do it. It's like, how do you just lay in bed? I mean, sleeping late to me is 9 o'clock. That's like staying in bed late. That's sleeping in. If you don't know what I'm doing, I pull on the plate to pinch the bolt. So when I turn this down, it's not just spinning the nut or the bolt. If anyone was wondering why I was doing it that way. So I know the nut's actually locking onto the bolt, at least some. Ow. I have a bunch of garbage on the floor over here. And my ratchety thing. And my... This is really nice. I've probably said this like 4 times now. This thing is actually really nice. I mean, it's just a stamped... I think it's aluminum. I don't think it's steel. I think it's aluminum. But it's beefier than it looks. It's freaking heavy. You know what? This weighs more than this. Yeah, maybe not. It just feels more because it's smaller. Anyway, it's a nice tool. And they give it to you with this, which, you know, for what you spend on this thing, they should. Really wish they'd give you one of these. That would be better. They do give you the ball end screws, though. They give you a set of these. I mean, not this brand, but they got like white caps instead of red, but they're the same thing. They're out in the garage because I don't need them in here because I have all this other stuff. Come on, you. The only problem is the screw's too long, so it goes on the inside of the little nut. Come on, line up. That's a little mildly annoying. If I put my finger on the end until it gets started, that'll stop that until it gets to a certain point. Yeah, I mean, like yesterday, I slept pretty much all day. I was up at like 2 o'clock this morning. But that's because I did the whole, you know, I had my second COVID shot BS. And I wasn't feeling so hot. I'm feeling much better today. I still feel it. I mean, I still feel kind of blah. But I don't feel terrible. yesterday, I didn't feel bad in the morning when I first got up. I got my shot at Wednesday at 9 in the morning. And Thursday morning, I got up and it's like I was a little bit achy and kind of I was like, wow, this would be cool if this is all I get. Everyone's telling me it's going to be miserable. But by noon, I had a screaming headache and just couldn't move. And I mean, I still wasn't that bad. It's just like I just didn't want to get up, if that makes sense. I can tighten these and I don't want to yet. I do not want to tighten these yet because I want to move the eccentrics out to where it says 6 millimeter. Come on, where is it? Right there. And move those out till they say 6 millimeter and 6 millimeter. Is that it right there? That's it. Look up. And that one there. And that one there. And then tighten them up a little bit. I got this thing in reverse already. Still. Yeah. I'm with you, Dan. If I sleep late, it screws up my whole, everything. No, they just spun again. That's all right. All right. One more down. So that's all my gantries built. Well, all the full sets. The X gantry, or Z gantry, excuse me, doesn't have a back plate. It's just a plate and then rides on it. And what time is it? 11 o'clock. And I think what I'm going to do is there's 3 eccentrics. There's 3 6 millimeters. There's 6 of those. I don't know what these 2 are for. But these are all for the last gantry, which again is there's 6 wheels instead of 8 or 4, excuse me. Well, instead of 8, there's 6 points of contact because you put some in the middle with the Z gantry, but there's no back plate. It's not a double stack wheel. So anyway, should I build that last gantry? I haven't really watched the video on that. I mean, I have, but I haven't watched it and recorded information about it. Because, like I said, I've been writing down info on these. And I think that's wrong. I didn't need the 3 millimeter spacers, which they need to change in their video. Because that really screwed me up. And I think I'm going to kill it because it's 20 after 11 and my coffee's really, really cold. It's been about 2 hours and I have to make Mom lunch in a bit. And I got to take out dinner for dinner because it's in the freezer and I forgot about that. So, on that note, and this thing didn't record it because the battery died. Great. Oh well. That is life. Either that or I didn't. Yeah, the battery went dead. Or did it just go to sleep and I didn't know about it? Nope, battery went dead. I didn't hear a chirpy. Dave, I didn't even know you were here. Didn't even know you were here, Mr. Pretzel. I'm sure you've heard that your whole life. People calling you names. Just like me. Anyway. Yeah. I'm going to kill it. Y'all have a good day. I'm probably going to come back after lunch and build more. Everything I can do inside today, I am not going out in the garage, although it is warming up a little. It's only 43 degrees out, though. And that's just too cold for me to be handling aluminum. On a 100-year-old elevator or what, at the restaurant? Yeah, I would be replacing it. Oh, wait, that would cost $1 million. But don't blame me for not replacing it at $1 million. Oh, crap. I wonder when that thing freaking cut out. I'll find out. I love Duramatic PETG. Never even heard of Duramic. Duramic. Yep. My feet are cold. It's cold in here. I have the heat off. That's why. It's only 65 degrees in here. My heat is not on. It was snowing this morning. April, what the hell is today? 16th. It was snowing out. There's actually snow. You go 10 miles inland, there's snow on the ground. Right here on the shore, it melted instantly because my ground level is the sound in the ocean keep it warmer. But you go 10 miles or so inland, there's snow on the ground. I have never heard of Duramic PETG. I'm hoping we will be hearing about. I'm not a big PETG printer. I just don't. For one, I never get good results with it. It's always kind of yucky. I did better with it. I used to do ABS all the time. I had no problems with ABS. I mean, occasionally you'd get it pulling up off the bed, but as long as you kept it reasonable. I didn't even put it in a chamber. I would just put it in a closet or something, so there's no actual airflow around it. Worked fine. Printed cleaner. PETG, I just never. It's always sticky and stringy, but supposedly Mr. David freaking Randolph is got his PETG all kind of sort of figured out where he might be producing it, from what I understand. I think if you're getting the box from him, you might be getting a roll of it in it. He hinted to that. Polycarbonate. The Snow Labs polycarbonate, the PC Plus, I find it easier to print than PETG. And it's way stronger. It does curl, but all of these are polycarbonate, and I printed them on this. It's all open. You only, if I open a window, I'll have problems. You can't have airflow, and I did. You can actually see it right here. I put paper dangling down just to keep any crosshair from crossing. So there's literally no airflow. There's access of air. Heat can rise and all that. But there's no wind crossing over it. There's no breeze or anything. I don't think PETG is good as well. No, I'm sorry, Mike. You will not be getting a roll of anything from Printed Solid. Although I know he is working on finding a way to get Canadian options. I know he knows, the whole shipping, and it's not even the actual shipping. I mean, the cost is the cost, and it sucks living in Canada, but you pay your shipping cost and you have free medical. It's a trade-off. Most people in Canada are used to the expensive shipping, and that's not his problem. His problem is the paperwork involved is it's not worth it to him. He doesn't hate Canada. He likes maple syrup just like I do. Y'all be maple syrup people. Maple syrup fairies. With your little wings flying around in the maple syrup land. Making up crap. It's the paperwork. The same thing. I mean, I was going to ship some stuff to Canada. I put some tools and stuff on eBay, and the Canadians wanted them. For one, they won't work up there because your power system's different. You need a different plug. Well, I guess you can get the adapter. Because, yeah, you guys don't use the same 110/ outlets we do, right? You're different. It's like a 3-prong weirdo thing. Round, they're not flat blades. Anyway, the paperwork was just insane. I had like a 5-page form I had to fill out to send a freaking drill across the border. It's like, no, not happening. I don't have that time and energy and money to freaking make $10. It's just not worth it. Is the power the same? I always thought you guys had like a weird round prong thing. I know you're 110 like we are, where the rest of the world's all 220 everywhere. Well, I know you so, Bob. Most of our power here in Connecticut came from Canada, except for we make our own now. We have multiple power plants all within, I think there's 4 power plants within like 20 miles of me. There's a nuclear power plant right there. If the window wasn't blurred out, you could probably see one of the smokestacks, steam stacks from the nuclear power plant, because it's right there. It's not 5 miles away. Literally right there. Man, the trees are in the way. You can't see it. They're starting to get buds on them. I can't see the tower anymore. More apologetic. That's funny. Yeah, making maple syrup, it's still amazing when you think about how, what is it? Like 15 gallons makes 1 quart of maple syrup or some ridiculous volume like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it's something ridiculous like that. It's a buttload of raw syrup to make 1 quart of regular actual syrup. You have to boil it. Anyway, it is now 11:30, and I've been doing this for 2 hours and 15 minutes. My throat's getting sore. I might come back later. I don't know. I got to feed Mom and figure all that out and read some more directions and write some more directions. Again, I've been watching their video and then writing them down because there's literally no paper version, digital or otherwise, of how to build this thing. The video on this thing is incredibly detailed, but videos are a pain in the butt to me. They're just a pain. The whole fast forward, oh crap, I didn't catch how long was that screw, and you got to rewind it. It's just obnoxious. I want to be able to look at the sheet and go, oh yeah, he said it was a 27 millimeter, or it's an M5, or I need 6 of those, or whatever. It's just easier to have a paper reference when you're building. So I'm watching the video and writing a paper reference, and while I'm watching the video, I'm absorbing more information because I think I've watched it 5 or 6 times now. Literally, I'm not kidding you. I think I watched it twice yesterday where I wasn't feeling good. And it's 2.5 hours. And that's just the mechanical build. That's not the electrical. The electrical is about an hour. Yeah, I'm still not fully absorbing how you build this thing. I got a pretty good understanding of how it assembles. Anyway, I'm going to go. See you guys. Have fun. Thanks for stopping in. Bye-bye. And